Hello everyone, it's Zero here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be visiting the archives of Bendy in the Dark Revival. And you cannot see me because this software I'm using does not have a webcam, so whatever. But yeah, we're going to be doing the archives and be reading a lot of the characters that were featured in this game. Yay, there's a lot. So, here we go. Welcome to the Archives. Bendy the Dark Revival is filled with numerous characters that each had a critical role to play in the progression of the game. Excuse me. Here in the Archives, you will learn a little bit more about them in an up close and personal way. Alright, so where are we going to start? We're going to start with Bendy here. And my controller's building his own. That's lovely. Not. That's going to be annoying. So Bendy, the iconic IMP, whatever that says, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from his traditional cartoon appearance. By giving him a suit of clothes, he posed some minor challenges, specifically, can't speak English, creating a face that sported the classic Bendy eerie smile. I can tell. But still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He is a fan favorite, so his design had to be just right. During production, we originally envisioned Bendy to talk with a series of cute squeaks, to contrast with the dark, low voice of the Ink Demon, who is right over there. But this turned out to be very distracting and the air was scrapped pretty early on. I can see why. I mean, it kind of makes sense. So, oh jeez. Oh boy, we have a lot to read. But, yeah, let's go over to the ink machine. Yay, my controller's being done. Lovely. The ink machine, it still looks the same. Designed by Thomas Connor of the Gent Corporation, starring by Joey Jew. Retrieved by Archgate and once began reclaimed by Gent. The ink machine's next adventure is a mystery. At least it's still the same from Bendy and Ink Machine. And that's gonna be very annoying. Now I'm gonna start with you. Next is you. Let's start with the Ink Demon, who has scared the crap out of me numerous times. Oh boy, there's a lot. As the world of the Ink Demon, can't speak, of Dark Revival became more complex and established, realized the Ink Demon's design needed a complete rethink to match a new tone. Previous versions of his appearance looked absolutely silly when placed in the world alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music or sound effects could conceal how out of place he looked. The Ink Demon needed to look different than anything else in the world and show a natural progression of the Ink Demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle in place. I still have my criticisms with this design. Well, I'll get to that whenever. Now we're gonna start with Beast Bendy. Oh my gosh, that is annoying. Beast Bendy returning for the climax of Dark Revival. Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making him more powerful and beast-like. Traditionally, in most horror games, they tend to build a point where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's particularly a trope. Our idea: what if you got to play as that final form instead? That surprised me the first time. Oh, I didn't see that up there. That surprised me when I first played this. So that was fun. And all the dead ink people back there. there's the end thing. You scared the crap out of me numerous times. That's totally fine. We're gonna go over here. The Psycho Breakers. We're gonna start with. I don't know why I went over there. My gosh, that is so annoying. Henry Stein, the original Psycho Breaker. Henry Stein is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago. Once fueled with the finding a way to escape the tortures of the Ink Demon and find his way home to his wife, Henry is now left with a cold reality of being recreation of a person he thought he was. Saved as a special prize for fans of the Bendy Ink Machine game, Henry was strictly omitted from all public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years, but Henry returned with a satisfying face reveal. Yeah, I can see. Oh, I didn't see those there. Allison. Returning for another victory over the Ink Demon, Allison is always the voice of reason, a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the previous Bendy and Ink Machine game to maintain her personality, but with more fury. I don't know what that says. The purpose of meeting Allison so early, the companion, was to introduce the player to a familiar face after the main introduction. As a start, Allison was able to serve as the motivating force for Audrey until the true plot kicked in later. All these guys look vastly different, including the Ink Demon over there. My controller's moving on its own again. Lovely. Tom, who is also different. Tom is Alice's silent protector and the only Boris clone involved in the main story. Where is Boris the Wolf? Wolf can't speak. Excuse me. Rumor has it that during the events of the game, Boris is experiencing a dark survival story of his own. I think I saw him once, Boris. I don't know where I'm going with there. Hey, that's gonna be annoying. We go to. We'll get to all of them, hopefully. We're going here. Audrey. That face is kind of creepy. The unknown daughter of a animation pioneer, Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, which is Dory Jew. But his role in her life was not over. A talented animator and artist, her skills landed her a job at Archgate. Was it fate that led her to reunite with Dory Jew's machine? The machine of her birth? Or was it planned? I don't know. And the one that tricked me into the whole thing. Whatever. Wilson. Who basically made me go into the realm of the Ink Demon. Haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan Arch, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud. By luck, he stumbled upon the Ink Machine and was able to become the Cartoon World's new master. That not end well for him. Holding the cycle in place, he continued his experiments that could not fully be realized until the Ink Demon was purged. However, unnaturally entering from the ink realm has taken a toll on Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his health. I guess that was he was coughing at the beginning. The Bendy cutout right there. Terrifying. Stop moving. That's gonna be annoying. Audrey's done it. No, you cannot have it. Can't have it. I'm guessing Audrey said that. Very simple. Alright, that's those guys. They are vastly different. Yeah. So that's the real world. The real life. Not you guys know what I mean. I'm gonna go over to these guys. The cartoon versions. Wilson, cartoon. Wilson was a difficult character to balance at first. The players all purposely led to believe he is a one-note character. Obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality, but as the story progresses, we see other sides of his character and the player becomes muddled with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Arch Jr., a separate character at the time, but the story made more sense when the two characters became one. I can't spell that. Eliminating a lot of needless narrative complexity. Oh, I thought his eye was on me. Audrey. Cartoon version. Yep, looks okay. Looks vastly different. Oh, whoops. Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue with courage. Oh. Determination, some flaws, and a deep dark past to make our story work. We needed a newcomer to the cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help experience the adventure. From day one of production, we knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable indeed, and stands out from the other members of the cast. Huh. I did not know that. We're gonna go in here. Wait. If Audrey's right there, then who am I? Because I don't think... Oh. Great. These guys. Lovely. The Butcher Gang. Barley, Carly, and Edger. The three original members of the Butcher Gang were formed from the ink machine deconstructed by Alice Angel for body parts, and bond together to stay alive with sneak attacks on their prey. In Dark Revival, we meet an artificial fourth member of the gang, Carly, the Ghost Girl. Although when you begin to examine her closely, Carly appears to only be a shell with perhaps someone inside. The one I did not like at all. But it wasn't bad. Okay, so it's just the same with these same ones. So it's just the same ones. Wait, it just says following me. Oh. 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 Oh no. It says it's following me. Oh. God, that's terrifying. You scares the crap out of me. Oh, she is following you. Oh, that's terrifying. And cool. The Keepers. Versus deadly gods. Oh, for the love of. Versus deadly gods and scientists. They aren't perfect, but the Keepers will get the job done no matter the cost. They are responsible for pressing the ink demon inside their small form, which is Bendy, obviously, keeping his power sealed away until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. The Keepers were visually designed to perfect the dangers and evils of the ink machine itself. Faceless beings made of gears and wires, with no sense of mortality, ordered around like cattle, a creation living without purpose. I hated sneaking past these guys. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be very annoying. Hey, Porter. I can't speak. Sorry if I'm reading these so fast, by the way. You can always pause and just read them yourselves. Without that happening, my controller being a pain in the butt, as the cycle was held in place, and with the influence of the Ink Demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, a lost one who came to claim a new identity as explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge of that Dark Revival would feature far more serious tone than the first game, Bendy in the Ink Machine, and his light-hearted innocence would help the player feel more warmth in this inky world of sorrow. Huh. Interesting. Then we'll go on to Heidi. It is believed that Heidi, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna say Heidi, because why not? It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit with a prison set up by Wilson and the Keepers. It is unclear why, but most likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit changed her, as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state, longing for happiness again. I mean, she kind of acts like one in the game, throughout the game, so I kind of see why. Now, man, I do not like how Carly's eyes are following me. That's terrifying and cool at the same time. Oh joy. Sammy Lawrence. The famous music composer of the studio, Sammy Lawrence originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival, but in the story already filled with so many characters, making them all play a meaningful part became a challenge. He was ultimately sidelined in favor of telling a more coherent storyline. Although it is interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability in Bendy Ink Machine long before Porter and Audrey could wield it. So you're telling me that Sammy right here has used the flow ability in Bendy Ink Machine? What? So he had the flow ability way before Audrey or Porter could use it. Huh. I did not know that. Sammy should have had a bigger role throughout the story. He only dies again when I'm Beast Bendy at the end. That's kind of disappointing, I have to admit. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Lord Amok can't speak. Oh my. I need to get a better controller. A ruler of a serial called Lord Amok illustrates how the world of the ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places. Although he was weak in the fight, his name will simply never die. I mean, he was hard to fight. He was hard to deal with when I first played. when I first loaded up this game. And now Alice Angel. Oh boy. Alice Angel. The self-appointed queen of the studio. Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world. Forever lost in the tide of insanity, of course, she is an absolute delight to write for as a character. An angel with many layers, time will only tell if this inky tempers wherever reappear. The crazy one. King Widow looks like an ink demon spider. Ink widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkest. The king, the biggest and most feared, will only emerge from his nest when its young are threatened. It looks like an ink demon spider, because with the mouth. Huh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like, that is horrifying. Ship ahoy doodly? The timid invade. I can't speak. I'm sorry, I cannot speak today. But yeah. The mented invention of Wilson, created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the ink demon in the cartoon world, and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Arch. Neither of these happened. Ship Ahoy Doodly is a mystery sailor with his own eerie grin. I can tell. Similar to that of Bendy, along with his sidekick, Crackle the Crab, it is unknown what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. I'm guessing the crab is probably the legs. So that's what he will look like. Huh. And Big Steve. The Lurker, or Steve, as he became to known, was originally created as a brute type enemy that would free roam the way Lost Ones do, but ultimately felt unnecessary as the random ink demon encounters already fulfilled the role of putting the player on edge while exploring the previous traverse locations. In the end, the Lurker found a much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more as a typical enemy. I can kinda see that, because with all the ink demon encounters throughout the game, it would make it way more harder with him around. So I would love to see that. It would be pretty cool, but some of these ideas for these guys were kind of scrapped, which kind of sucks, but then again, I think it was necessary. I think that's everyone. Oh, never mind. I missed some. We're gonna start with Joey. We're gonna go over here. Joey Drew, Memory. The man, the legend, the memory. Creating this version of Joey Drew was both exciting and taught in process. It was clear from the start that this story would be different from the original Bendy and Ink Machine game. This was a man with all the guilt from the past life, but without the experience to fully understand it. The real Joey made many mistakes, but ultimately learned from them. This doesn't absolve him from his sins. Excuse me. But at the end of his life, he was able to help correct some of them, and help fight the darkness he created. I think it was kind of explained a little bit. And last but not least, Betty. A faithful maid, among other things, to Wilson. Whatever that means. Betty was an important character to the story of Dark Revival. As a field experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio, she was able to give somewhat a different point of view on the state of the world. We would personally left it unclear if Betty was in on Wilson's plot to harvest Audrey or if she is just a bystander behind a mask. There are still answers to be found. Who knows if we will get to see some of these characters again. Oh, the posters. I think that's everyone. Yeah, that's everyone. Yeah, that's everyone. I think I got all of them. So that was the archives. I'm going over here next to Ink Demon. So that was... Gosh dang, stop moving. So that was all the archives. That was everyone that were featured in Bendy Dark Revival. What a load of characters. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh, Harold. Too much dry air, not enough fish food. Oh, so he's dead. Okay, so now that's everyone. Now that's everyone who was in Bendy Dark Revival. Some did not appear. Well, I guess I should say some had. I guess there were some flaws about the characters. Bendy, the Ink Demon here, I still have complaints because we'll get to that whenever. So what an amazing game this has been. I really enjoyed playing it. And I can't wait to see what's next for Bendy. Who knows? We'll get to who knows? We might get to see these guys again. Who knows? So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I will see you guys in this video. Until next time.